I'm going to show you the most powerful way to take control of your mind and why this may be the reason you're not attracting things that you want into your life. So we all know that the fastest way to attract things that we want, whether you believe in the law of attraction or not, is to focus, to think about the things that we actually want in our lives. But one thing that could be keeping these things away from us is our awareness. One thing, and a lot of people have said to me, even in the comments on some of the videos that I've done already, that they do focus on what they want, that they are trying to maybe manifest the things that they desire in their life in the right way. They could be doing all the right things. They could be writing affirmations. They could truly be thinking about exactly what it is that they want. But there's a simple test to know whether or not you actually are thinking about the right things or not. So that simple test is your cell phone. How many times a day do you look at your cell phone? I want you to take your cell phone and just put it on silent for an hour and put it down on a table. See if you cannot look at your cell phone. Chances are you probably aren't going to be able to do it right now. And this means that you may not have total control over your awareness. Once we get total control over our awareness, then we can truly start to manifest the things that we desire into our lives much faster. So I was watching a video by an Indian guru named Dandipani. I will try to put the link for that interview down below, and hopefully I remember. But in this interview, basically Dandapani says once we can focus our mind, then we can control it. And that's one of the main parts of the law of attraction, is being able to control our thoughts, being able to direct our thoughts to what we truly want. Dandapani describes our thoughts or our awareness as almost this ball of energy that floats around from place to place in our mind. I prefer to think of it like a goldfish, right? So goldfish, it's a lot of people say goldfish only have the attention span of about 3 seconds, which I don't want to get too complicated on you, but it's not actually true. They have a longer attention span than that. But let's pretend that the things that you think about, it's like a goldfish running around in your brain from thing to thing to thing. Maybe while you're working during the day, the thing is your phone. Maybe your phone buzzes. What's the first thing you do? You immediately look at your cell phone. You immediately go to your cell phone. Maybe while you're talking to your spouse or the person you're in a relationship with, you start thinking about what happened at the office, or maybe you start thinking about the hot sauce that you can't wait to try that's sitting on your counter. Maybe when your kids come in to talk to you, you're thinking about the office as well, or something else. But this just goes to show that that goldfish is swimming off somewhere else. That goldfish is not staying focused and keeping its eye on the prize, which is definitely going to affect things in your life. Not only does this affect your relationships, but again, if you're watching this video, you're maybe interested in the law of attraction or attracting things you want. If we don't have a focused awareness, we can also, that's going to stop things from being attracted into our lives. That's going to stop us from being able to have what we truly want. Not only that, it's also controlling our lives. We are allowing something external, like a cell phone that buzzes, to control our lives. We're allowing that to steal our awareness. What we want to do is we want to turn this goldfish that swims around in our brain, that jumps around from idea to idea to idea, we want to turn this into a shark. Sharks have highly sensitive systems, and they are super focused. A shark has sensors all along its nose, and it uses that to track down prey. And when it's focused on something, that's the only thing it's focused on. It's focused on what it wants to get, and it just goes straight for it. So again, with the law of attraction, if we're focusing on something and we're giving it all of our focus, chances are we're going to attract it into our lives. Or we're going to start noticing things that bring that into our lives as well. I always say, if you're watching these videos and you don't believe in the law of attraction, that's totally fine. But even if you don't believe in the law of attraction, our focus kind of gets drawn to things. I can give so many examples and so many times where maybe I didn't necessarily attract something magically into my life, but by focusing on it, by changing the way that I focus on something and bringing my awareness to something, it kind of allowed me to see things that I didn't see from a different point of view. So again, this is also important for those of you that don't necessarily believe in the law of attraction, but maybe you want to become more aware of what's going on around you. So the simple trick here is that we just need to draw our focus. A simple way is to practice in the interview or in the video that I'll have down below with Dandapani. He just says that our goal and what we should be doing here is just focusing and at certain times, or we need to pick one thing and in our life, maybe it's our relationship, maybe it's our job, and when we start to notice our focus drifting, we just need to bring our awareness back. We need to go from goldfish to shark. We need to bring our awareness back to the thing that we actually want or that we're focusing on. And then as we go through time, as we start focusing more and more, as we practice bringing our awareness back, we will become more present and probably more aware of the things that we actually desire in our lives. And this is something that I have just been practicing recently. In a short amount of time, I've noticed that it's lowered some, I wouldn't say that I'm an anxious person, but it's definitely lowered some anxieties that I've been having, or some thoughts, or the racing thoughts as well. So if you're going through any difficulties or challenges where you're having racing thoughts, where your thoughts are all over the place, definitely just practicing bringing that awareness back to whatever the task at hand is will definitely help remove some of that anxiety and will help remove some of those thoughts. The most important thing is that this brings about true freedom. If you're being controlled by a cell phone, like I said at the beginning of this video, if you're reacting to things, you're in that reaction mode, which is not the place you want to be. Reaction mode is the lowest vibration. So again, when you're in reaction, you're not attracting the things that you want into your life. You're actually repelling things because you're just reacting to things that you don't necessarily want. Goldfish, you sprinkle a little bit of food in their tank, they just swim up, they eat it, and they just live their little goldfish lives, right? But a shark is, again, a hunter. And that's kind of what we want to do if we're trying to achieve things, if we're trying to rebuild relationships, if we're trying to rebuild our relationships with our children, if we're trying to have a happier life. We need to be more in kind of that mode where we're actually paying attention, we're drawing our awareness to things that we do want, that we do desire. So again, my advice here is simple. When you're focusing on something, when your awareness starts to drift away from whatever you're focusing on, just try to bring it back gently. Turn that goldfish in your brain into a shark.